Hey everybody, what's up? My name is Jordan. If you know me through Twitch, you probably know me as I'm Jerman, and today we're going to take a look at the new scout mechanic that was given to us in the Rising Tides expansion. In browsing through decks of Runeterra this week, I kind of came across a Demacia Scout deck that I thought looked interesting, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit. Today's deck format's going to be a little bit different. It's going to have a different vibe to it. Instead of going card by card and kind of hovering over cards in decks of Runeterra, I'm going to show cards on screen and talk more broadly about general themes and concepts. I also decided to not subject people to this while they have to evaluate a deck. So I'm curious what your thoughts about it. So if you like it, make sure you leave a comment in the YouTube section if you have any feedback or anything like that. And I'm excited to kind of expand this type of content. So anyway, without any further ado, let's jump right into the deck. You know how it feels really good when you rally and get to attack twice in one turn? You know how it feels kind of like you're cheating, but Rito lets you do it, so you do it anyway? Now imagine that concept as a deck you could build. Well, actually, don't imagine it, because you don't have to. In a they'll make literally anything type of way, Rito gave us the ability to build that deck in Rising Tides. This deck is built around the on-its-face powerful scout mechanic. Because this set is so new, allow me to quickly explain this tremendous ability. Once per turn, if you attack with units that only have scout, you get the rally token. This enables you to attack twice that turn and enable that cheating feeling we're so desperately chasing. The key cards in this deck are Grizzled Ranger and Quinn. Grizzled Ranger is an efficient 4-mana 4/1 with scout. What makes Grizzled Ranger so busted is that when he dies, he leaves behind his big brother, a 4/4 Badger, behind. You see, the thing that makes Scout, and in turn Grizzled Ranger, so powerful is that even though your opponent can see the difficult choices you're about to make them make, it doesn't matter. Does your opponent take 4 and let you attack again with your newfound rally token, or do they block, likely losing a creature in the process, only to have you attack again with the big Badger brother or the Triple B? Quinn, on the other hand, is a much more complicated card than Grizzled Ranger and Triple B. Quinn at 5 mana isn't the most efficiently costed creature in the game just looking at her stat line alone. Even giving her scout kind of leaves you with a meh feeling as she doesn't attack profitably into most creatures that would enable you to attack twice with her. Well, she's a gal with a plan and she fixes her own problems for free. When you land Quinn for 5 mana, she generates Valor, who is a 2/1 with Challenger and Scout. So that creature I was saying that Quinn can't profitably attack into, well, Valor plays his best version of Duck Hunter and jumps in the way so that Quinn can get busy. And because Quinn and Valor both have Scout, the rest of your Demacia team is not far behind. As you're scouting around and otherwise playing a mid-range Demacia deck, you won't have a hard time flipping Quinn, who, of course like all other champions, gets better when she's flipped. Now when she attacks, you don't have to worry about her only having 1 Valor. Valor rises from the ashes like a phoenix and takes on the strongest enemy, guaranteeing more Quinn and company attacks in the future. Otherwise, we're playing a traditional Demacia game plan where you leverage your Sithri of Cloudfield, Feather Tracker, and other low-cost units to deal with early but annoying threats that would otherwise prevent you from advancing your game plan. If the format moves more towards sea monsters, this version built by Pokrvac might not be the best move, and we may need to see more of a step up the mana curve to cards like Laurent Protégé, Concerted Strike, and maybe even Brightsteel Formation. Similarly, Miss Fortune is an interesting choice for champions 4 through 6 for this deck. While I'm excited to play her, she's probably just a worse choice than Garen. Enabling the attack token on your opponent's turn, then abusing it with scout creatures, is more than my happy heart could handle. That being said, including Garen does increase the curve of the deck substantially, so if you're trying to dodge low to the ground burn decks, spider decks, or other types of aggressive decks, I can appreciate trying to fight fire with fire and play in a Miss Fortune. For her cost, she's an efficiently statted creature, and her triggered ability will do a good job of cleaning up those aggressive creatures we're worried about. That being said, if the format does settle into a mid-range meta, then you'll be looking to cut these and move towards the more powerful, albeit expensive effects like Garen. Cards like Sithri of Cloudfield, Jagged Butcher, and Miss Fortune won't be able to hold their weight against other strong mid-range decks that are doing more permanent things around turns 3 through 5. Otherwise, this deck plays like a standard mid-range Demacia deck like you might remember from base set. The filler cards help you attack aggressively when you're ahead and not concede the board when you're behind. Just like last format, remember to not overextend into decks with sweepers like Shadow Isles for Ruination, or now, Bilgewater for the one treasure that you really don't want to find. It's true that this deck, as it's listed on Decks of Runeterra, is a bit of a misnomer. There's only 6 units total with Scout and 3 more units that rally. It's more of a Demacia mid-range value deck that has the potential to abuse the Scout mechanic than it is really a Scout deck, but that's really enough. Grizzlebear and BBB are good enough package on their own to warrant calling this deck a Scout deck because they use the novel mechanic in a really powerful way. In its current iteration, this deck fares well against the Aristocrat decks featuring Swain, as well as the Draven Jinx burn decks like you might remember from the base game. If you enjoyed the Demacia standard decks from the base set, you'll likely enjoy this deck as you're just upgrading some of the cards. I'll post a link in the description below so you can try it out as you'd like. Hey everybody, that's the end of today's deck review. If you liked today's weird kind of vibe, make sure you leave a comment down below saying so and hit that like button. Subscribe for more deck reviews. Maybe not like this, maybe we'll go back to the old style, but subscribe so you can find out. Otherwise, you can find me streaming on Twitch with this deck and other decks every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. You can find a link to that down in the description below. And otherwise, happy gaming.